and what do we make of that $1.3 trillion omnibus bill? Joining us this morning to talk about that is Congressman Gary Palmer. Always good to see you when you make it into the district. Talk about this omnibus bill. First, the president threatened to veto it, then he signed it into the law. What are we really getting with this bill?
Well, it's hard to say. We're getting a lot more on our in terms of debt. As I pointed out yesterday, if we'd taken out every dime of funding for the military, we would still have been close to $250 billion in deficit spending, which speaks volumes about where we are with entitlements and the discretionary spending. In terms of the military, I felt like the Senate Democrats were holding us hostage, threatening to tie up the military funding, which we've passed at least twice, maybe three times out of the House at the levels that were in the bill that we passed on Thursday. But I think it's a problem. 90 of us voted no.
Yeah, a lot of Alabamians looking at what's actually happened there in our nation's capital these days from both Democrats and Republicans, also the White House. They're wondering, what's going on? It seems like things are not functioning the way that they should be functioning. What's your take on that?
They're not. Congress is broken. We should have an appropriations process that works. Each year, there should be 12 appropriations bills passed. We passed all 12 of them back in September for this fiscal year. Sent them to the Senate, and they did nothing with them. In the last 5 years, out of 60 appropriations bills, there hasn't been a single one that's been passed on time.
How much of stories like Stormy Daniels and Karen McDougal and the Russian investigation, how much is that impacting things to keep it broken?
None on our end. I mean, that's outside of what we do. This is strictly a problem with the Senate and how the Senate operates and allowing the Democrats to put a hold on every bill that comes over.
No distraction with all these stories like that going on?
No, that's not part of any discussion that I'm a part of. It has nothing to do with the appropriations process. Appropriations process, like I said, in the last 5 years, out of 60 appropriations bills, we haven't passed a single one on time.
Well, it certainly seems to be
that predates Trump. That predates all the other things that the media seems to be focused on.
Yeah, a lot focused on that. Certainly seems to be distracting the White House. But despite all that, CNN polls showing that 42% of the people polled approve of Trump handling the presidency, 54% disapprove. It's up 7 points since February, so he's enjoying some good ratings right now. I
would say that's primarily because of the tax cuts and people seeing more money in their paychecks. Unemployment is at record lows. It's at record lows for African Americans, for women. We're seeing more businesses come back to the United States, and I think there's overall a sense of optimism about at least the economic future of the country.
Well, let's stick around and talk about that 7 o'clock at the top of the hour if you can. We're going to go to Facebook Live, talk more with Congressman Gary Palmer. I know there's a lot to talk about. We want to break down more on that omnibus bill. Omnibus bill when we come back. That's one of those words. Let's go down to